Commitment. What does commitment mean to you? Folks, Jerry Poe coming to you live, 31 days of sharing. Reluctant Success Family. I was thinking about this word tonight, commitment, and I'm a big fan of quotes. You already know that. So I was thinking of all the commitment quotes I've heard and my own personal philosophy slash quotes around commitment. One of the quotes I heard about commitment many years ago from one of my mentors named George Zalicki. He said commitment was doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the emotion that you set it in has left you. That doing what you said you were going to do is long after the spirit or the mood that you set it in has left you, because so many people are committed to something in the moment. Energy's high, emotions are high, they're so committed to it, they're so gung-ho, but then a day later, 2 days later, 3 days later, eventually that commitment starts to wane, it starts to evaporate, because the emotion that was associated with the commitment, the emotion that was associated with the word, has now faded. And because the emotion's not there, they're not charged up again, what happens is that they renege on their commitment. They renege on their word. They go back on what they said they were committed to. So commitment, he said, was doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the emotion that you set it in has left you. Earlier this week, I was looking at some posts on Facebook, and an old friend of mine, going back all the way to elementary school, a gentleman by the name of Tim Patterson, he had posted this story I'd heard about breakfast and how the chicken and the egg were all part of the breakfast in terms of commitment. Now, maybe you've heard it before, maybe not, but they said when it comes to breakfast, when you have eggs and you have bacon, that the chicken was involved, but the pig was committed. The chicken was involved, but the pig was committed, because the pig had to give up its life in order for you to have the meal. That's commitment. The chicken just had to lay an egg and keep on moving, but it didn't have to give up as much as the pig. So what is your level of commitment when you say you're going to do something? One of the philosophies I developed for myself and for my family was that we live our lives around our commitments. That we do not live our commitments around our lives. That when we say we're going to do something, that we arrange everything, we change everything, we put the commitment first, and if we said it, it has to be done, because our word is our bond. That is the philosophy I developed for my family, that we live our commitments. We live our commitments. That we live those out. So our lives, we live our lives around the commitment rather than the commitments around our lives. See, some people commit to things, but then when their life gets in the way, the commitment takes a back seat to what's more important to them in their life at that moment. What I believe is, if I say I'm going to do something, if I commit to doing something, that if I let go of that commitment, then that is a bad reflection upon me and my integrity, because my word is my bond. I have to honor my word. What I said, I have to honor that like I would honor anything else. I honor my word as myself. So I live my life around my commitments rather than my commitments around my life. And I've been instilling that into my daughters as they've been growing up, that we live our life around our commitments rather than our commitments around our life. But in order to do that, it requires self-discipline. And self-discipline is not easy. Self-discipline is not easy. Self-discipline requires effort. It requires you to push yourself when you don't feel like it. It requires you to get up when you'd rather sit down. It requires you to fight back the emotion that you may be having. It requires you to become unreasonable, to find reasons why you should do something rather than reasons why you should not. It's always easy to tap out, like you're doing that. If you watch mixed martial arts in the UFC, they tap out when right before the point where you want to pass out. They tap out. But what I'm suggesting to you folks is that when it comes to life, you do not want to tap out on your commitments. When it comes to your family, when it comes to your business, when it comes to your relationships, that you don't want to tap out on your commitments. That it's going to take effort. It's going to take something on your part deep down inside that you have to dig in. That's part of reluctant success. Reluctant success is digging in to finding that extra part to you, to finding out who your character really is. One of the things I quoted earlier this week was that reluctant success is when your character becomes bigger than your comfort. Your character is more important to you than your comfort. Self-discipline is based on that. Self-discipline is based on the fact that you are allowing yourself to become uncomfortable and becoming comfortable being uncomfortable in order to honor your word. That's what character does. People who have character will do the uncomfortable things in order to keep up their commitment. They'll do the uncomfortable thing in order to keep up with your word. So our challenge for all of us, and this is something that I do daily. It's not like this stuff is easy where I just automatically say, yes, commitment's easy, self-discipline's easy. No, this stuff takes work. It's just like motivation. All right, motivation is something you have to do every day, just like taking a shower and brushing your teeth. Working on your character, working on your commitments, working on your self-discipline is a daily thing that we have to do. And I have to keep encouraging myself to say, okay, am I going to tap out today, or am I going to step up? Am I going to fulfill what I said I'm going to do? Even with these 31 days of sharing, 31 days of coming to you live twice a day, I said I was going to do it. But when it gets to the actual doing of the thing that I said, sometimes I don't feel like it. I'm like, I really don't want to get on here and do it live. But when I have to look in the mirror and see myself, and I have to see my face and look into my own eyes, and I have to say to myself, Jerry, did you stick to what you said you were going to do? Did you take the easy way, or did you stay to the path that you said you were committed to? So I want to leave you with this, friends and family, Reluctant Success members. Number one, if you're not part of the Reluctant Success group, go to the website down at the bottom and join so you can keep up on the updates for my weekly webinars and when I'm doing teachings. These are all free teachings and content that I normally do around the country for people on sales, leadership, and career and life success. Also, like this video, share this video. If these things are helping you, comment. Let me know in the comments. What are you getting from these daily videos? What do you do to help keep yourself committed? What do you do to help develop your self-discipline? Put it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Talk back to me so I can see what you're thinking and tie in what you're thinking and what I'm thinking. Because if you're learning from me, I could also learn from you. So remember that commitment is doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the emotion you set it in has left you. And that we want to live our lives around our commitments rather than our commitments around our lives. So until next time, my friends, be valiant, be vigilant, and be victorious.